Guys, welcome to another episode of Idol Insider. I am going to be doing a Q&A video today. I asked you guys to put in a couple of questions for the previous video that I uploaded, and I got so many comments and so much support and also just a lot of questions. So today I'm going to be just trying to answer all those questions as much as possible. There was also a lot of questions that were the same, so hopefully I will get to answer all of your guys' questions. And yeah, stay tuned for the questions that I'm going to answer. So the first one was, how was your first week as a trainee? And what was your daily program as a trainee? My first week as a trainee, I'm not gonna lie, I was so sore. That's the only thing I could think of is I was using my body in ways that I didn't use my body before. So I feel like for me, literally the next day, I didn't even know that my body could feel like that. I couldn't move, and obviously like you still have to dance and train the next day. And I remember I was like, oh my god, like I just want to adjust to this and I just want my body to adjust to it because I haven't been doing stuff like this. So for me, I think that was the hardest part, was just adjusting to that. And also in the program, you obviously will go to the gym, depending on the company, language classes as well. And I took dance classes, couple singing classes, but I feel like for me, we practiced more as a group as a whole because we just needed to get closer as a group. So yeah, that is the answer to the question. The next question that I got is, can foreigners be K-pop idols too? I personally think foreigners can be K-pop idols. There are a lot of foreigners who are K-pop idols as well. I think that it is getting better with a lot of foreigners coming into K-pop, and also because there's so many foreigners who are interested in K-pop as well. So for me personally, I say yes, it is possible, and don't give up. So the next question I got is, why do some of them have hand mics while others have head mics while performing as a group? Why can't they all have head or hand mics? This is only because main vocals or lead vocals or rappers will usually be given hand mics, and that is because sound is inputted better through a hand mic more than a head mic. And also it is really hard to kind of control your breathing when you have a head mic. So usually people who have head mics are groups that do a lot of excessive dance moves, or there's just like a lot of choreography in the dance, which will look messy if they have a hand mic. And also it is preference too. There are some people who prefer to have a hand mic, or some people who prefer to have a head mic. So I feel like it is preference and depends on what position they are in a group. Will you return to LA one day, or is South Korea your permanent home now? I haven't really thought about it too much. I do want to move back one point or another, but not now. I think that I am I like living in Korea, so I think that not now, maybe later on, maybe a couple years later, I might move to LA, but I don't know, who knows, it might not even be LA, it might be a different city, but yes. How do you overcome your hard times as a trainee? What kind of things did you do to cope with it? By the way, I love this series and I love you. For me, I would definitely say how I overcame was, I think I constantly kept in touch with just my friends. I think it really helped me to just kind of cope with emotions. So basically like, oh my god, today my day was like this, and this happened. And I feel like it's really good to have somebody there listening to you and also just giving you like the support that you need. Also, I think that I had to spend a lot of time by myself because you're always just going to be surrounded with your members or just like the people who you're training with. So for me, I always had to try to find a place and like a state of mind where I was very just comfortable just being alone, just kind of relaxing. I feel like that was very important when I was coping with my training days. About how long does it take for companies to tell you if you pass auditions? I would say pretty quickly. Most companies will probably mark a certain like symbol or something on the audition paper when they think you are capable, if they want to like see another audition from you. And then with the ones that they marked, they will probably call in them for a second audition. It really depends on the company, but usually after the first audition, if they are interested in you, they will probably giving you a call as fast as possible. So yes, you still go to school when you are training, depending on what age you are or just what you're doing and what the company wants. Usually most trainees will be able to finish their schools and come practice afterwards. If that is not the case, then some people might have to drop out. And yeah, usually for college though, I do know that they might not be able to do it because attendance is very important when you go to college in Korea. So that might be a problem, but if you are in high school, I feel like they will let you finish your day and then come practice after school. Have you met any top idols, and are things always as they seem on broadcast, or are they two-faced? Oh yeah, there was definitely a lot of people who were a lot different than I thought they were on camera. It really tripped me out because on camera they seem like so funny or charismatic, and they might be just really quiet in real life, or the opposite way around, like they might look super nice on camera but then when you see them in person they're actually not that nice. And I had a lot of encounters with this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of idols encounter this too. They will probably know when you go to broadcasting stations or music programs, you might see the people that you viewed on, TV a little differently. It is true. I mean, there are some people who are the same, but there are obviously people who are going to be different as well. This is a little bit long, but I'm going to try to read it as fast as possible. Hi Christina, I've been following Bladee going back to 2013 and Blood Type Bigo. I also enjoyed when you and Coco hosted Pops and Soul on Arirang TV. I also wondered as to what happened to Bladee after Circa Number was released in 2015 and why there are no comebacks for the group after that. Maybe in a future vlog you can get into why 2 versions of Circa Number was released within 3 months of each other, July 2015 and October 2015. That was very unusual. I never understood what was behind something like that. Also, just know that everything does happen for the best. You're a beautiful and talented young woman. No matter what you do, you'll be a success. The reason why we had 2 videos was because the behind the scenes was supposed to be like a music video, but the members actually didn't like that and weren't satisfied with that at all, and we really didn't like it. So we asked the company if we can film just like another music video, and that wasn't like the biggest budget, but we did film a music video after that because the first one we personally didn't like the results, how it came out. But then the company wanted to release both of it, so yeah. For us too, we were like, oh my god, why did they just do that, and why did we have to release 2? But I think that since we already filmed the behind the scenes music video, it was a waste of money not to put it out. So I think that's the reason why the company decided to put out 2 music videos for that song. Yeah. Also, it says, I'm curious about the experience of joining an existing group and then how it went when the lineup changed. Were you surprised? Did your company tell you, or did the girls tell you when they quit the group? I would love to hear more in-depth stories of your story as an idol, or of your time as an idol. When I went into the group, there was only one member who was originally from Bladee, which was Kangyoon, and obviously it was a little bit different. I did wonder why the other previous members left, but I didn't really ask why, because when there was new members recruited in, I just thought that this group was going to be just going a new direction and they were going to take the group in a new direction. So that is the reason why I joined the group. And yeah, I think that later on you realize like why they might leave the group or the company. But when I first went into the company, I didn't really think too much of it. I just thought that there were a lot of personal reasons. So yes. How does styling work for music shows and red carpets? Well, I haven't really been to like a red carpet, but for music shows, you will be going to a shop in the morning and you will be getting your hair and makeup done, and then after you will be going to the music show broadcasting station and you will be basically doing rehearsals and then also just like on-air show, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Usually a team could follow you, like a hair team and makeup team can follow you to the music station, and then they will be just constantly touching you up after, rehearsals or before the show starts. And that is the reason why all your idols are looking so good all the time, is because there are people that are going to be next to them constantly just touching their makeup up and also touching their hair up. Have you ever thought if you were in one of those big companies like the Big 3 or Pledis, etc., Would that make a difference to your life, or maybe your debut life as an idol wouldn't be that hard compared when you are in a small company? I think that either way, there's always going to be difficulties. Yes, probably the chances of success might be higher if you are in a bigger company, but I really do think that also just talent and luck goes on the way with just becoming successful as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like going into top 3 will probably be just like a little bit bigger chance of being successful. So this is a very interesting question. If you were given the choice to go back into time, would you be a K-pop idol again? Why or why not? I don't think that I would go back to do it. I think that I've learned a lot from my experience, and I know it's just not something that I really want to go back into. I will probably be doing something else if I were given a chance to go back. So this next person asked around 13 questions. I don't know if I can ask all of them, and there are also a lot of questions that I answered before. So I'm just going to be skimming through it, and I'm going to be answering the questions that I feel like I haven't answered yet or that are very interesting. Which position would you rather choose if you could, and why? I was changed to a rapper midway through my group, and I was originally a vocal, so if I could change that, I would definitely change that. Also, do you still talk with the members? Who is your favorite? I do still talk with my members. I meet Kabin very frequently because we have a lot of things in common, and I personally really look up to her because she gives me a lot of advice. So definitely I talk to Kabin a lot. I talk to all of my members, like most of them. During your training days, who paid? Did you have to pay? Can you give us some numbers? Some necessities, such as things that I need on like a daily. Some stuff I did buy with my own money, and some stuff the company did provide. I think it all just kind of depends on, there's no like fine line, which is like food, the company will pay for it, but sometimes if I wanted other types of foods, I would pay for it with my own money. You get to keep the wardrobes that you wear on music shows like Music Core, Inkigayo, etc. It honestly depends on if the company actually buys those clothes or if the stylist is having to return them to the respective brands that are going to be giving you clothes. Most of the time, if they are customized, you will be able to keep them, and the company will be able to keep them. You don't keep those clothes as like individual. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I would like be walking around in like customized clothes. But also, if the company does buy all the clothes, then I think that some people, they get to just like split it within the members. It all just depends on if the clothes are actually bought or if they are just given to you for music shows or music programs. How competitive would you say was the ambient between members / trainees either before or after debut? Was your company more geared towards competitions? Cooperation between members. I definitely do think that there was a little bit of competition involved. Obviously there was cooperation involved, but there was obviously also a lot of comparison as well. You know, there are going to be people who are better in certain fields, like people who might be better at dancing, or people who might be better at singing, or people who might be better at expressions. And I think that they would always just say stuff as constructive criticism, as like, oh, you should try, you know, seeing how so-and-so does their expressions because I feel like you could learn from them. Or, you know, maybe on your free time you can ask so-and-so how they do that move because, you know, they do that dance move the best. So I feel like there's always a lot of competition but also cooperation as well. I think it was a fine mix of both. How did your parents feel during your hard times after debut? Obviously, I wouldn't say that they felt great about it. They saw me going through a lot of hardships, and it probably did break their hearts and was hard on them as well, which is probably the reason why I didn't really tell too like detailed stuff in the beginning, was because I didn't want to worry them, because they you know, were rooting for me, and it's something that I didn't kind of want to disappoint them with, just like the things that were going on. So I tried to handle them by myself. Yeah, I think that was the decision that I made, was I didn't want to just hurt them. Did your parents move to Korea with you too? And yes, they did. That's not only because of me, it was also because she wanted to move to Korea as well, so kind of like worked out in the end. The next question is, what groups were popular when you were a trainee? I think it was like EXO. EXO was doing Call Me Baby, and I remember everybody in the backstage, either they were just people who debuted around the same time as them or were like rookies than them. You always get to monitor 선배님's or just like the artist that's performing, and I feel like at that time everyone was just monitoring them like on the hallways. I feel like every time we would go to a music show, everybody was just monitoring them because after they perform, then you have to go on stage. So I think for me, EXO was probably the most popular when I was trainee. Sorry, this is when I was actually debuted. When I was a trainee, yeah, I would still say EXO was probably like the most popular. Well, I think that is a wrap for all the questions. I tried to answer most of them as much as I can. So hopefully all the questions that you guys had and were curious about, they were answered. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also you guys can comment on other just videos that you guys want for Idol Insider or just other videos you want to see from me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye. Bye.